What's up guys, this is Nakul back with a comparison video of Xiaomi Redmi 1S versus the Asus ZenFone 5. First of all, I wanna apologize because I'm super late for this video, but then I thought it's better late than never. Anyways, let's cut the crap and get started. First of all, the price. Xiaomi Redmi 1S costs 6,000 rupees while Asus ZenFone 5 8GB variant costs 10,000 rupees. So that's a 4,000 rupees price gap between the two. But both the phones have almost the same specifications, so that's why I'm making this video, doing this comparison for you guys. So the first things first, I told you about the price. The second thing is the screen. Xiaomi Redmi 1S has 4.7 inch of display with the resolution of 720 by 1280 pixels, while Asus ZenFone 5 has 5 inches of display with the same resolution. But in this thing, the winner is Asus ZenFone 5 because of the bigger display. Moving on to the weight of the devices, as you can clearly see, ZenFone 5 is clearly bigger than Xiaomi Redmi 1S, but it weighs less than Redmi 1S. ZenFone 5 weighs 145 grams while Redmi 1S weighs 158 grams. So again, Asus ZenFone 5 is the winner in this thing. It is bigger than Redmi 1S but weighs less than it, so it's better. Moving on to the screen glass of these devices, Redmi 1S has AGC Dragon Trail glass while Asus ZenFone 5 has Corning Gorilla Glass 3. So both the glasses are scratch resistant, so it's a draw in this field. Talking about the screen and glass, let's take a look at the GPU of these devices. Redmi 1S has Adreno 305 while Asus ZenFone 5 has Power VR SGX 544MP2, and I really hate that name because it's really long. Anyways, I ran the Nina Mark 2 test on both of these devices, so let's see the scores. As you can see, Redmi 1S scored 56.8 FPS. Let's take a look at the score of ZenFone 5. And as you can see, it scores 60.5 FPS, so clearly higher and better than Redmi 1S. Moving on to the internal memory, both the phones have 8GB of internal memory and both has microSD card slots so that you can expand your memory. But here comes the difference. In Redmi 1S, you can expand your memory up to 32GB, while in Asus ZenFone 5, you can expand your memory up to 64GB. So that's the plus point in Asus. So again, the winner is Asus in that. Moving on to the Android version, both the phones are running Android 4.3 Jelly Bean. As you can see here, 4.3. Let me show you in Asus. Here it is, Android version 4.3. So both the devices are running Android Jelly Bean, but as we all know, Asus recently released a KitKat update for the Asus ZenFone 5. However, I still haven't got it in my phone. I check regularly, but it's still not there yet. Moving on to the RAM now, Redmi 1S has 1GB of RAM while ZenFone 5 8GB variant has 2GB of RAM, so that's pretty good. Again, Asus is the winner. The next thing is the processor. Redmi 1S has 1.6 quad-core Snapdragon processor, while Asus ZenFone 5 has 1.6 dual-core Intel processor with a technology called hyper-threading. Means it has two virtual cores and it can perform as a quad-core device when required. I did run Antutu benchmark on both of these devices, so let's see the scores. As you can see, Redmi 1S scored 20,276 while Asus ZenFone 5 scored 23,111. So again, Asus ZenFone 5 is the winner in this, despite the fact that Asus ZenFone 5 has 1.6 dual core processor while this has 1.6 quad core processor, but still Asus ZenFone 5 is the winner. Moving on to the camera now, both the phones have 8 megapixel camera with the LED flash and the quality is great in both the phones. Quality of the pics is almost equal in both of these devices, but if we talk about the video recording, then I think Redmi 1S is a bit better than Asus ZenFone 5 in video recording, because when we record videos in a bit low light, then in Asus ZenFone 5 the videos are a bit laggy and the video jitters a bit like this. But in Redmi 1S it's all smooth and nothing at all happens, like no lags or nothing at all. But however, there are more things I want to tell you. The sound quality in videos are better in Asus ZenFone 5. In Redmi 1S, you feel like the sound is a bit more to the left side. If you wear your headphones, then you will feel that the left speaker has more volume than right. I don't know why it's happening, though it has, both the phones have stereo recording. Both the phones can record bass in the video. while if there's a song playing in the background. But in Redmi 1S, the recording of Redmi 1S, you feel like the sound is more louder in the left channel, in the left speaker, while in Asus ZenFone 5 it's all equal and the quality is good. But there's one more thing I want to show you. While recording, as you can see, if I start recording here, now as you can see, you can take pics in both the devices while recording, but in Asus ZenFone 5 you can turn on the flash while recording, as you can see. But in Redmi 1S you cannot do that. There is no option to turn on flash. However, you can turn on flash before you start recording, but you can't turn on the flash while you are recording. Plus in Redmi 1S there is no option to pause also. There is no option to pause the video, while in Asus ZenFone 5 you have option to pause the video as well. So that's a plus point. Plus in Asus ZenFone 5 you can do tons of settings in its camera, like you have your flash here, front facing camera, then your effects, as you can see. Plus you have all these settings, and then you have your other scene modes here. So there are plenty of settings in the camera of Asus ZenFone 5, at least more than Xiaomi Redmi 1S. You have these settings, plus there are more in the settings, as you can see. But if we talk about the number of settings in the camera, then Asus ZenFone 5 definitely has more settings than Xiaomi Redmi 1S. However, I will do include the sample pictures, which you can see after this. So as you just saw the pics, you can see that the picture quality is almost same in both of these devices. But I think clarity wise, Redmi 1S is a bit better than Asus ZenFone 5. But if we talk about the customization in the camera, then Asus ZenFone 5 has better customization in its camera. But they both are nonetheless. But in video recording, obviously Xiaomi Redmi 1S is better because the video doesn't lag like in Asus ZenFone 5. I will upload the video sample separately of both of these devices and put a link above this video over here, so you can see that. As talking about the camera, I forgot to tell you about the front facing camera. Xiaomi Redmi 1S has 1.6 megapixel front facing camera, while Asus ZenFone 5 has 2 megapixel front facing camera. So again, the winner is Asus ZenFone 5. Moving on to the battery now, Xiaomi Redmi 1S has 2000 mAh battery, while Asus ZenFone 5 has 2110 mAh battery. So it's a bit bigger than Redmi 1S obviously, but so is the screen of ZenFone 5. But if we talk about the battery backup, then in Asus ZenFone 5 it's barely average, and you get around 12 hours of battery backup with normal mixed usage, while in Redmi 1S you get around 13 to 14 hours with normal mixed usage. Moving on to the call quality, Redmi 1S has average call quality. Actually both of these devices has average call quality, but I guess Asus ZenFone 5 is a bit better in call quality than Redmi 1S. So again, Asus is the winner in that. So this is pretty much it guys. Plus there is one more thing I want to tell you, that with Asus ZenFone 5 you get really nice headphones which are in-ear bud style, while with Redmi 1S you don't get any headphones, like nothing at all. However, there are few features in Redmi 1S which are really good, like you can customize the color of LED down here, you can customize what these capacitive buttons do when you long press them, you have options of do not disturb and many other. If you want to know all those features, then make sure you watch the honest review video of this phone. I will put a link in the description below. But there's one thing that this phone doesn't have, which is noise cancellation. Redmi 1S has noise cancellation, but Asus ZenFone 5 doesn't have it. Anyways, let's come to the conclusion now, that which phone you should buy if you have a budget of 10,000 rupees. I think you already know who's the winner. Yes, it's the Asus ZenFone 5. It's better in processor, RAM, GPU, screen. Everything is better, call quality is better, camera is something which both the phones are neck to neck, but Asus ZenFone 5 is better. In Redmi 1S, as you can see, the capacitive buttons don't light up, plus the markings are in red, so you can barely see them in dark. While in Asus ZenFone 5 also the capacitive buttons don't light up, but at least markings are in white, so you can see them at least. You can see. Plus the vibration of Redmi 1S is just half of what you get in other phones. You barely feel it while it's in your pocket. So the winner is clearly Asus ZenFone 5. Go for it if you have a budget of 10,000 rupees. So that's it for now guys. This was a comparison video between Xiaomi Redmi 1S versus the Asus ZenFone 5. If you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, then put them in the comments down below and I will try my level best to reply and help you out guys. So subscribe for more videos guys. Thank you for watching.